Miranda here from Custom Crops, and we are here with Jenni Bowlin herself from Jenni Bowlin Studios, and we are going to get a sneak peek inside her booth. Are you having tons of people coming in with great responses?
We are. It's been a great show so far. We've been really busy and getting a little tired, but that's good. That's good. Yeah.
Wonderful. So what do you think has been your hottest item so far?
Actually, what's right behind you, our butterflies. Here, I'll pull this layout. Then we can kind of show them while we're talking.
Adorable.
But yeah, look, see? Little butterflies, self-adhesive with the little creased wings and rhinestones. This has definitely been our big seller. It's been what's the buzz on the online. Before we even got to show, it was what everybody's talking about.
Wonderful.
So it's kind of cool, yeah.
So do you have any other like embellishments that you've been coming out with this time?
We do. We have some molded buttons. I'm sure you'll see it here in a minute. And some stick pins that have like vintage rondelles, pearl and stick pins, so they've been really popular as well.
So where do you find your inspiration? Do you have a team of designers, or is it just all you?
It's all me. It's a lot of work. It is, but and as far as inspiration goes, really you can look at our booth and see where my inspiration comes from. It's all vintage, yeah. I'm actually an antique dealer as well. That's kind of my hobby and my fun thing to do, but that's where I get all my inspiration from.
Good. I know. That's one reason I love Jenni Bowlin, because it reminds me from back home. I think people can relate to that. You know, it kind of reminds me of being at my grandparents'. No offense, that's a good thing.
No. Well, we say our tagline is always fresh vintage, and that's kind of, I guess, what we try to do with it. We take a shape or a style and put a fresh twist on it, I guess. So, and that's usually what you'll find. I mean, all of our papers are inspired from like vintage feed sacks. My husband's mother has a quilt that was made from old feed sacks that his grandmother had. But I mean, during the Depression, that's all they had for fabric, and but they were the greatest patterns ever.
That is great. So,
so
you do have some new paper lines that we're going to see.
Yeah.
Well, let's go around and see all your products.
Okay.
Okay. So what paper lines do we have here?
Well, this is homespun, and we always come out, traditionally we have one paper line per show. I guess we like to highlight it. And so for show we have this paper line homespun, and there's 6 papers, as you can see, and a die cut paper. We always have a die cut paper in our signature logo shape.
Well, it definitely seems to be going with the trends right now, which is a really good thing. I think this is really going to be hot for you.
Nice and bright and fun, great for spring. Yeah, but still has that vintage edge to it for sure. And next, if we keep going around, these are the buttons I was telling you about.
This is my favorite, and these are going to be hot.
Yes,
for sure.
And these came from my vintage collection of buttons, my personal stash. We sent them over and had the molds broken open on them. So, again, a new way to give new life to something else, because they don't make it like they used to, not anything.
No, they don't. That's for sure. I'm loving that.
We can keep going around. We always have journaling cards to match each of our paper lines. So we have our journaling cards here, and to match our homespun line, there's 6 cards. And then we also, for the whole altered art market and the card making market, we always have our papers available in a 4x4 pad.
You know, I'm seeing that those little pads are really starting to be very popular, because a lot of people, they like a certain print, but they don't necessarily use a whole 12x12 sheet of paper.
Well, and the other issue is you want that shrunken pattern. You can't just go and cut a 4x4 square out of a piece of paper if you're doing something small, because you don't have this pattern, the size appropriateness. So if we keep going over, this is another huge thing for us at show, and these are our banner stickers.
That was actually my favorite thing when I came over here, because you can personalize them. Yes. They are adorable.
Pennants are really popular right now.
You can really get a good look at what it's supposed to look like on the Pirates layout.
It's real simple. We just added, this was actually my layout, but I used a 1/2-inch circle punch to punch a piece of cardstock, and used little tiny scissors just to fan around the letter, and then stuck it onto the pennant just to give it a little bit more.
Super cute, and they do come in different colors.
They do. While we're here looking at this layout, I do want to mention we have embossed paper with coordinations.
Yes.
And it was so popular last show. We had 1 pad last show. Well, now we have 2 paper pads, and we have 15 different papers you can get open stock now.
I agree. We did get that pad, and it was going like crazy. So we're definitely going to be getting those 2 new ones.
Yeah, this is one of the new ones too, one of the patterns. So. And finally, we have our stick pins. Again, you see the whole vintage vibe. This was an old, actually an old button card that I had, and we revamped it and used it for packaging.
So cute, Jenni.
But you can see the rondelles all around, just that inspired. There was a lot of that in old jewelry.
I love that. That is beautiful. To have just like a little punch of the diamonds and everything to go.
A little bit of bling and a little bit of pearl. So, and the one last thing, these are our bingo cards here. This is kind of what we're known for. People that don't know us usually find us because of the bingo cards. They've seen them somewhere, and
I'm even seeing them now in the embossing folders and in stamps. The bingo cards are definitely a huge trend right now.
Yes. Well, now we have spring, a little spring set.
Such a good idea.
Yes, and we have a sports set. And
so you get 6 in a pack with those?
Yes, yes. And then these are our new alpha tiles, just for a whole altered art type look. Just cut and paste. They're not stickers. It's just a random, just cut and paste the letter.
So you could use the whole card, or you could actually use each individual letter.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's true. I was always cutting up my bingo cards for the numbers, but I always wanted letters, and I didn't have letters. So I figured I'd make them for me.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah.
I can make them.
You can do it however you want.
That's right. So that's about it for this show.
All right. Well, I just have one more question for you. So what is your favorite indoor sport?
Bowling, of course.
Oh, of course. Bye, everyone.
See you guys.
Thanks, Jenni.
You're welcome.